Welcome to HyperScale Video Workshop. My name is Brett Green, and today I've just taken possession of a fairly large box from the UK, specifically Hannon's. Now, I've got a pretty good idea what's going to be in this box, so I thought I might share the joy of observing the contents the very first time with you together. So I'll just grab my trusty hobby knife and I'll open the box from the bottom. Just easier than getting through all the customs paperwork. And we have a box within a box. Oh, we have something else in here as well, actually. I'll come back to that in a moment. But I also ordered the brand new ICM Hensel HS123A1 late model. We'll take a more detailed look at that a little later on. Not today. Because this is what I'm interested in. And this is from Hornby, made in India, and we'll open the box within the box. And as I suspected, we have a 1/24th scale Messserschmitt Bf 109 G-5 G6 in what is really quite a compact box, considering this is going to be a big model when it's built. Very attractive artwork on this. The Messserschmitt Bf 109 was the second most produced aircraft in history, with around 33 to 34,000 built, and around 23,000 of those were the variants of the Messserschmitt Bf 109G aircraft. So it was a very highly manufactured aircraft. It was used in every theatre. It was a very large percentage of the entire Luftwaffe arsenal. So we're going to have a look at the sprues here, and for that I'm going to move over to my photography table so that hopefully we get a better look than usual at the sprues of the new Airfix 1/24th scale Messserschmitt Bf 109 G5 G6. My golden rule of unboxing videos is to start at the beginning, do one take, go right through to the end, and then that's the video. So you get a completely unfettered, unedited impression of what the kit looks like in the box. Unfortunately, I've been conspired against a little bit here when I put the grey plastic parts on the white background. I noticed in the middle of my viewfinder there was a great fuzzy black blob, which was obviously a mark on the sensor. It looked like some sort of giant fly had crawled on there. So I've unfortunately had to change the sequence of events as I'd gotten halfway through the sprues. And what we'll have a look at now are the plastic parts after I've unbagged them. But we'll take as close an unfettered look at them as possible. So the first sprue that comes out of the box is for the upper wing, and this is the first place that we see the lovely fine crisp recessed panel lines, as well as the correctly proportioned bulge and some really nice recessed rivet lines as well. We note that the wing root panel is moulded to the wing itself, And when we look at the other side, we can see some nice detail on the wheel well ceilings. We can see some ejector pin circles, but these won't be visible at all once the model is buttoned up and finished. So looking very nice so far. The next sprue to come out of the box is the engine cowlings. There are two styles that are supplied. One is for the pressurized Bf 109 G5 and one is for the non-pressurized Bf 109 G6. We can also see some cockpit parts, including the firewall, the instrument panel. We have the trim wheels, one of which is about to fall off the sprues by the look of it. I'll have to make sure I don't lose those. The MG131 guns and a few other bits and pieces here as well. The next sprue gives us one of the lower wings, some of the control surfaces and smaller panels. So once again we can see that really nice surface texture. In the case of the lower wings we have circular fasteners as well as the recessed rivets of different weight and different diameter. We've got a big nice wing spar there that will ensure the dihedral for your Gustav. I like the texture of the stitching and the very subtle scalloping there. Hardly noticeable, but certainly much appreciated. We have the flap, radiator flap covers, which have raised rivets. That's a nice move. We have what appear to be some kind of a, oh I see, it's probably for the wing root. Yes, and the P is for port, so there'll be an S somewhere around there for starboard as well. And some simple but quite effective wheel well inserts as well. Next up is the other side of that particular coin, where we have, yes, the starboard wing root mount. We have the center panel for the lower wing, lower fuselage, and of course we also have the other lower wing half, sharing the same sort of level of lovely crisp detail. And we also seem to have the mount for the exhausts here. I'm not sure if there's an option for mounting the exhausts and not the engine. That's something I'll find out after I've had a bit of a look at the instruction booklet. And also the slats, the leading edge slats, and the slat mount. So that's a nice one. The next one, we have some control surfaces and some cockpit bits and pieces. So we have the basic cockpit floor there. We have the elevators with their nice skip stitching and scalloping detail, which are joined in the middle, so don't cut that piece of plastic between the two. And we have some nose parts as well, and there's your horizontal stabilizers too. we finally, well, I say finally, but there's an awful lot of plastic that's still in this box. But anyway, we have come now to the two fuselage halves. So they're broken down with separate tail surfaces. So obviously there's the intention to produce a kit with the tall tail, or maybe a number of tall tail options. And the forward fuselage will be separate as well, presumably to accommodate the engine and the guns. Once again though, what's in common with the rest of the kit is that we have some really nice crisp recessed panel lines as well as recessed rivet lines. More cockpit and control surfaces. We have the rudder, which is split into port and starboard sides. We have the rear bulkhead. We have the fin. The fin has the antenna mount that's moulded in place. We have the cockpit sidewall. We have an open and closed pilot stowage bin. We have the foot skids. There's the other side of the sidewalls. There's a second instrument panel. One, I guess, must be for the pressurized version, and one is without. And then we have some detailed parts, including the box for the coaxial gun. Coming up now, we have undercarriage parts. It looks like about a third of the undercarriage legs are moulded with a very stout locating device, and then we have the actual landing gear legs themselves, the tail wheel, and the covers. We have two styles of tyre. They're subtly bulged and flattened. And we've also got two styles, subtly different, I think, of the cover, the wheel covers as well, the hubs. Just a little bit different, with a row of fine ribs around the diameter of one of these. Next up we have the propellers, and a really interesting parts breakdown for the spinner as well. So there are three segments for the rear half of the spinner, plus a separate cap and a separate base here as well. The collars, the pitch collars, are in two halves, nicely detailed, and the propeller blades are interesting as well. So they look just like standard propeller blades from the front, but if you have a look at the back, there's an insert that obviously corresponds to these that will absolutely lock the propeller blades into the correct pitch. So yeah, it's quite innovative. That's a lot of fun, that one. Here we have a 300 litre drop tank and an ETC rack. The shape looks good. I do like that. That's very nice. And the 300 litre tanks look good as well. If you're planning to build a gunboat, then you'll be using the parts from this sprue. So it has the gunboat fairings, the 20mm cannon, and some detail parts there as well. We're coming to the engine parts now, and it's logically broken down. It's not insanely complex, although the exhaust stubs are separate parts. So there doesn't look to be a huge amount of work in there, but the detail does look really good. I think when this is painted up, it'll look great. Can we see on the other side? Ah, yes, we can. So we have hollowed out ends for each of the exhaust stacks, which is a good thing, and a nice stout engine mount there. I don't know it, but I'm a poet. More engine bits. So this is more along the lines of the plumbing. There's the oil containers, yes, left and right, various hydraulics and electronics, and bits and pieces. So that's all nicely done. Excellent detail that'll come up after careful painting very nicely. Well, and here's another interesting thing. So we've got more trim wheels. I don't quite know what the options could be there, but we have also a Galland Panzer armoured glass section for behind the pilot's head, and an optional metal version with the quilted cushion there as well, head cushion. We've got oxygen hose, we've got trim chains, we've got actuators, we have the supercharger intake, rudder pedals. So there's a few duplicates here that we've seen on another sprue as well. Obviously different parts with very subtle differences I wasn't aware of between the G5 and the G6, or possibly between factories where these were produced. But whatever it is, it's really nicely moulded and the detail looks great. And the final grey sprue, it looks like there's a bulkhead for the tail wheel, there's a cover for the tail wheel leg, there are optional, I think, open and closed, is that what they are? Open and closed actuators for the flaps, and some small details. There's mass balances as well there. So that's the last of the grey. Let me just switch from day to night. We'll put a bit of black cardboard down there. How's that? That's a bit better. When we want to look at a clear plastic part, pardon my absence, and for security presumably the clear parts are packed in 2 plastic bags. To be sure, to be sure. Oh, how nice are they? Okay, so here we have the clear parts, and how nice are they? Very, very nice. Oopsie daisy. I'm not going to get my cinematography award today, but we have quite a number of options here. Yes, we have the G5 with the little gel capsules, the circular gel capsules in the corners. and the standard G6 that doesn't have those. We have 4 styles of windscreen. We have an pressurized, yes, that's right, pressurized canopy, armored bulkhead behind the pilot's head. We have a clear fuel line, which is similar to what we've seen on Edwards 48 scale kits. There's an isolator for the moraine mast, isolator mount, gun sight lenses, and also an Erler hood, which is nice, very nice to see. So the clear parts are as nice as the grey bits. We're getting very near the end. Let me just retrieve for you this, which is a set of masks for the canopy, for the wheels, for the Erler canopy as well, and a really nice touch, spinner spirals. There are 2 spinner spirals of different style. Gee, I wish we saw more of that. That's a great idea. And finally, we have the decal sheet, and it's very, very nice. It's very nice indeed. I've got a bit of a thing about RLM 04 yellow, and this looks perfect. Deeply saturated, really lovely. And we have 4 marking options. 2 of them are captured aircraft. I would imagine that the lot of a model company who is releasing German aircraft these days is quite difficult because of the inability to display Hakenkreuz on their aircraft. So swastikas are a no-go. None on this sheet, obviously. But of course you've got plenty of aftermarket options for that. So that's all I have for you. This is a really lovely model. It actually looks manageable in size, the way that it's broken down, with the separate port and starboard upper and lower wing parts, and the separate lower middle section as well. So there are no sort of big unwieldy parts that are going to be difficult to manage while you're building the kit. The detail looks excellent. The inclusion of the engine is something that you may like or something you don't. It doesn't matter, because you can build the thing with the cowlings buttoned up. There seems to be a great deal of attention to detail in identifying the specifics of different 109 G5 and 6 variants, and possibly even the differences between factories for the 109 G6. The quality of the decals is up to the rest of the kit. They're shiny. They look a lot like cartograph decals. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I can't in the first glance find out if that's the case. Oh, I did just notice though that we've got decals for the engine block, which is a nice touch. But no, it's a great model. It's really, and I don't think it's unreasonably expensive either. I think the shipping from Hannon's to here probably cost more than the model itself did. But I'm impressed, and I can tell you it's not going to stay in its box for very long. So, from Brett Green at HyperScale Video Workshop, me and my Airfix 1/24th scale Bf199 G5 G6 say goodbye. Goodbye.